Cyprus has closed its doors to Russians. The banks of the country where billions of dollars flowed, including raw material super profits of the aggressor country, closed the accounts of 82% of clients from the Russian Federation during the period of 2014 to 2022.
For years, Cyprus was known as an Ask Few Questions jurisdiction whose banks welcomed money from wealthy depositors despite their shady connections. It was especially popular with Russia's wealthy oligarchs. But that began to change following a 2013 financial crisis that brought the country to the brink of bankruptcy. Russian deposits held in Cypriot banks fell by 76% from 2014 to 2022. From publication in Associated Press.
The scale of capital outflow from Russia to Cyprus was huge. In 2021, direct investments alone totaled a record $46 billion. Russian companies felt great in Cyprus thanks to the convenient tax system.
С одной стороны, это не офшорная зона.
On the one hand, it is not an offshore zone, it is a civilized state. There is simply special legislation there that allows you to minimize your income. It is a very attractive zone, which is why Cyprus promised about 10 years ago that it would comply with all the requirements of the EU, international associations that fight money laundering and implement all the procedures of financial monitoring.
The change in the policy of the Cyprus authorities, who are struggling to circumvent the sanctions imposed on Russia, can be explained by the fact that Russian companies have recently started to actively leave Cyprus by themselves. Companies are transferring to special administrative districts of Russia with special tax regimes or neighboring countries such as Kazakhstan.
I stand boldly before you and admit that mistakes were made. All this is now history for Cyprus. Mistakes were made in the past, and the first to pay for those mistakes were the Republic of Cyprus and the Cypriots themselves. Nikos Christodoulides, president of Cyprus.
Specific instances of Cyprus assisting Russian oligarchs and officials have come to light through the publication of Cyprus Confidential, an international consortium of investigative journalists. After attention to Cyprus' financial sector intensified, the country's government instructed local banks to seize all transactions with the Russian ruble. FBI and the Financial Crimes Enforcement Service of the U.S. Department of the Treasury assist Nicosia in its efforts to stop being a pillar of the shadow economy of the aggressor country.
The invitation to the US experts is further evidence of the enhanced cooperation with our international partners on sanctions compliance to target those who have enabled sanctioned Russia oligarchs to hide their assets. The departure of Russian bank deposits is being offset by newly arriving international business. Konstantinos Letimbiotis, government spokesman, in a publication in Associated Press.
After Cyprus's close ties with the Russian capital were a thing of the past, the international companies that came to the island helped to create almost 37,000 jobs in 2022. More than 1,600 international companies, mostly technological, including 47 multinational, registered in Cyprus. Reported by Anastasia Tarnavska, Valeria Nekapelova, UATV News.